Starbase Commander.
So let's go. Probably need fuel.
Yeah, we can make it. We can go 5 minutes without refilling. It's like a truck.
Trucking along.
You know, we need the hybrid. That's what we need. Trucking. Get some Grateful Dead up in here.
All right, let's go.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. So hopefully another one doesn't appear soon.
I forgot. Did you talk to them?
Did the Sly intro?
Yeah.
Not yet, no.
The little probes?
No.
Become a piece. Become peace. Become peace. I always like that part. Become peace. Become peace. Become peace.
And you go in pieces.
Oh, it's a long flight.
That it is.
You may in-flight music. Flight movie. In-flight meal. My hot tap. It is a catchy tune, though. I've got this on a recording, so I can just listen to it when I'm going to bed. It's so repetitive, it just puts you to sleep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. It's like the world song for Final Fantasy VII. Or the town song from Final Fantasy VIII.
We got someone behind us coming in fast.
Outrun him. You're never a good bandit. You let Smokey in.
Let's see what they have to say.
We come in peace. Come in peace. We come in peace.
We bring greetings from a friendly species.
Come in peace. Come in peace. Come in peace. Come in peace.
Remote probe programmed to replicate with our data. Contact alien species. Priority override. New behavior dictated. Must break target into component materials.
Because we come in peace. Come in peace. Come in peace. Pieces. Go in pieces. Peace. Come in peace. Peace. Pizza. 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 Help me. Almost.
Yeah, almost there.
I like how you just fall in. Like, whoops.
Oh, this is. How did I get to Vega?
Where were you going? I was wondering why it was such a long trip there. It's like you're going the wrong place. There we go.
We actually are further out.
Oh, it is further out, isn't it? Where are we going? Are we there yet? Yeah, we made it. Wait, everybody back in the car. We got another 2 hours. That made me so mad. What?
Here we are, people.
That's where that whole thing where they're like, hey, better be quiet back there. The whole threat. I'll turn this vehicle around. Yeah, let's see you do that. We're 30 minutes from our destination. It's been 12 hours. I want to see that. So yeah, I'm going to say something. Because I want to see that.
Like, do you really want to do that?
You're only hurting yourself. I didn't want to be here anyway.
Hello, visitor. We are the Slylandro. I am content to hover, a Slylandro speaker. Your presence here fills us with excitement. We have gotten so few visitors over these many drawn. We hope you can stay to talk with us for a time.
I am captain of the Earth Starship Vindicator. What the heck are you?
Oh, this is terribly exciting. We will be happy to tell you about ourselves if you would please do the same. You see, we Slylandro have been extremely interested in learning about the galaxy, but our physique makes us incapable of leaving our gas giant home. Therefore, we are totally reliant on our infrequent visitors to keep us informed about events outside this planetary system. And visitors usually only show up every few drawn. We hope that our newly deployed exploration probe fleet will not only gather information for us, but inform other races of our presence here as well.
Probes? What probes are you talking about?
You know, it's funny. We hadn't heard from the outside galaxy in a whole Jernasa. And then the Melnomay come by and sell us a probe. And just a few hundred locations later, you show up. Oh, the probes? Right. Well, like we said, just a short time ago, a race called the Melnomay stopped by. They said they had acquired some information revealing our existence, and they wanted to study us if we didn't mind. In fact, the Melnomay said they would pay us for the right to do so. I guess they are biology nuts or something. Anyway, in exchange for our information, they gave us a probe vessel.
Tell me about the other races you have visited you over the years.
Years? Oh, you mean drawn. Well, let's see. There was the Melnome just a few rotations back. Then we go all the way back over 3 drawn ago to the Urquan and the other milieu guys. The Yuli and the Draw, I think.
Milieu? What is the milieu and who are the Yurli and the Draw?
Let me remember. That was a long, long time ago. I was only a nymph then. Oh yes, that's it. The Sentient Milieu was a cooperative association of sentient alien species. The Yuli, the Draw, the Taelo, the Mailman, the Foz, and the Urquan, who lived across a wide section of the galaxy. They talked with us fairly frequently for almost half a drawn. Then suddenly, the visit stopped, and we haven't heard from them since.
Were there any other visitors here besides the Melnome and milieu races?
Yes, there was another race, a highly sophisticated species of shaggy giants who made repeated trips to our world over a period of several drawn. They even installed a broadcasting satellite in orbit around our world, which let us talk with them whenever we wanted. They were called I'm sorry, I can't remember their names. It was a long, long time ago.
That sounds like the precursors. What else can you tell us about the race?
I wish I knew more of the information you seek, traveler. But we last saw the Shaggy Ones just over 39 drawn ago, and very little from that era has remained intact in our history chants. Hold on a minute. Let me consult with associates Joyce Lifting and Solon Plummet. Joyce Lifting, who has a better memory than I, recalls that the Shaggy Ones were described as being worried. They were always hurrying from place to place, seeking knowledge as though they were in a desperate search for some important secret, some answer to a question that they never shared with us. Solon Plummet remembers that the last time the Shaggy Ones visited our world, they came aboard a great circular starship, one even larger than your own. They had discovered their answer and were leaving to go somewhere, and they didn't tell us exactly where somewhere was.
This is extremely important to us. Don't you know any more?
No, I have told you. One moment, Joyce Lifting transmits. Joyce Lifting has remembered something else, though it does not relate to the Shaggy One's question, answer, or departure destination. What my associate communicates is the description of a set of 10 worlds, unlike all others. The Shaggy Ones either discovered these planets, or, this is garbled, assembled them? We were told the planets were, again this is confusing, organized in some pattern which in some way alluded to the Shaggy One's ultimate fate. One of the worlds was described as orbiting one of a pair of blue stars not far from here. Another of these worlds circled a large white sun. That is all we can remember.
What are those glowing bits inside of you?
Oh my! I forgot! You creatures see in the visual range and can see our, we can't see them. What I mean to say is, they are, we use them when the male and the female, well look, I'd rather if you didn't ask about them, okay? Especially not in front of Solon Plummet. She's shy.
I said, what are those glowing things inside of you?
Great. Now you've done it. Just look at Solon Plummet. You've embarrassed her so badly that she can't even regulate her ballast.
Look, I'm sorry I asked about your glowing bits.
That's okay. Actually, your explicit questions have put Solon Plummet in an unusual and intriguing mood. I will explore this change more fully when this conversation is over.
Can you give me details about your probes?
Sure, if you are interested. In exchange for information about the life on Source, the Melnome offered to give us a remote exploration probe. It would roam the galaxy gathering information and contacting alien races, and when it had filled its data storage units, it would return here and reveal to us everything it had learned.
Well, why then do your probes attack our ships?
Our probes do not attack. They have only defensive capabilities. Offensive behavior is not part of the instructions we programmed into the probe. To do so would be reprehensible.
Can we talk a little bit more about the probe's programming?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Would you explain the general outline of the program?
Sure. It was a difficult task for us, since we'd never done anything like that before. But for the most part, we just adjusted its standard program, which went something like scan for targets as defined in target list. If no current target, then select new target from the current targets list using specified priorities. If current position is at current target, then set current behavior to new behavior based on behavior priority settings. Perform current behavior. Okay, that's the basic program. I said it was simple, and here are the tables used by the program. Target list with associated target priority. Space vessel 5. Transmission source 4. Astronomical anomaly 3. Planet-bearing life signature 2. Raw replication materials 1. Probe behaviors with assigned priorities. Communicate 5. Record data 4. Analyze data 3. Seek replication materials 999. Move to current target 1. That's it.
You mentioned the probe's defensive capabilities.
That behavior was hard-coded by the Melnome. We couldn't mess with it. Essentially, the probe will only fire its weapons if it has been attacked and cannot communicate with the attacker.
And when defending itself, it uses lightning weapon?
No, the probe is armed with a battery of missiles. It doesn't use its electrical discharge device in combat.
What missiles batteries? It always attacks us with lightning bolts.
That's impossible. It's inconceivable. The electrical discharge device is used only for breaking down raw replication materials into their component compounds for easy gathering.
Let's talk more about this later.
Okay.
What was the probe's program?
It was sent on a 500 rotation mission to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no catalog item 2418, remote self-replicating robot explorer probe, had gone before.
Can you explain the probe's replication ability?
Well, we're not hardware people, so we only know the theory. What happens is that while the probe is exploring space, whenever it's not doing something more important, it hunts for asteroids and similar space junk, zaps it into its component parts, absorbs the debris, and when it has enough raw materials stored inside, it manufactures a perfect replica of itself. So even though we only bought one probe, by now there should be hundreds of probes, maybe even thousands.
Can we talk a little bit more about the probe's program?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Tell me more about the replication behavior.
I'd be glad to. You see, the probe has the capability to seek out raw materials, process the raw materials into component compounds, collect the compounds, and then, when it has a sufficient supply, it can build a duplicate of itself. We decided that since we had only one probe, we should change the replication priority and crank it up so that there would be more probes sooner.
And thus created the Propocalypse.
What priority did you assign to the replication?
Well, the factory setting was 2, in between movement at 1 and analyze data at 3. I told Joyce Lifting to set it a bit higher. Let me ask him what he set it to. Oh, my. That was a bit extreme, wasn't it? Joyce Lifting told me he changed it to 999, the highest setting on the dial.
What is the effect of the priority setting on the behavior?
I'm pretty sure the way it works is that every time a behavior is completed or interrupted, the program selects a new behavior based on the defined behavior target priorities and what kind of target is currently selected. I think a really high priority would cause a probe to focus its attention on that behavior. No, it cannot. It is not programmed for hostile behavior. What is your reasoning?
Think about the probe's replication behavior.
The probe seeks raw materials and processes them in preparation for replication.
Think about the effect of changing the replication behavior's priority.
The answer is simple. It would spend more of its time seeking raw materials for its replication process. So what?
Now, what will it do to a ship's given that the replication priority is set to maximum?
I don't see what you are getting at, but I'll play along with you. Like I said, alien ships are the top priority target. Once a probe scanned a ship, it would instantly move toward it. Then, when it got to the ship, it would initiate communication automatically. When communications were terminated, a new behavior would be selected and... a new behavior would be selected. And since the replication setting was set to maximum, the probe wouldn't get time to pick a new target. It would use the current target, the ship, for raw replication materials. It would process the ship, break it into component compounds with electrical discharges. Oh no! What have we done? Traveler, you must tell us what we can do! How can we stop the probes from destroying all life in the galaxy?
Die.
Dying is probably the only thing they can do. Someone's going to have to hunt them down and destroy them all.
No, that would never work. The probes will replicate too fast. As soon as you destroyed one, 2 would take its place.
Well, to begin with, if I were you, I'd sue the Melnome.
Sorry, the Melnome made us agree to a formal waiver of damages in case something like this happened.
Couldn't you broadcast some kind of recall signal?
No, not catalog item 2418, remote self-replicating robot explorer probe. The model with the recall transmitter was catalog item 2419, and the Melnome said it was out of stock.
I don't suppose you have some kind of mega self-destruct code or something.
Why yes, there is! You're a genius, Traveler! Why didn't we remember that? Oh, there's a problem though. How are we going to transmit the code? Well, while we ponder that problem, at least we can give you the code sequence. That way, if you run into a probe, you can destroy it without getting shot at.
Now that helps a lot.
Or broken down into your component pieces.
Exactly how long is a drawn?
The drawn is our primary unit of time. It lasts for an interval equivalent to 4 million rotations of our planet. A drawn is subdivided into 2,000 dronasa. Now please, our turn. Will you tell us about yourselves?
Most of us come from a large rocky world called Earth.
Yes, that seems to be the pattern. Just about everyone who comes by here says they developed on a world a lot like that. As far as we know, we're the only sentient species who's ever evolved in the atmosphere of a gas giant. Of course, from what we know, most travelers like yourselves don't have much interest in gas giants. So maybe there are others like us, Thylandro, out there somewhere.
We travel the galaxy in starships seeking knowledge and contact with other sentients.
That must be great, to leave your planet and roam the stars. You don't know how monotonous living on a gas giant for 3 or 4 drawn can be. Clouds, clouds, clouds. Wind, lightning, clouds, clouds, clouds. That's it. We know a lot about clouds. If you've got any cloud questions, ask us. We have over 800 different symbolic references just to describe them. Most of the time, when we aren't eating, we hover around and talk about what the clouds look like. Of course, the only things we know about are clouds, food, and other Thylandro. So generally, that's what we think the clouds look like.
Our primary objective right now is to free ourselves from the evil Urquan.
The Urquan? The long brownish guys from the milieu with all the eyes and arms? They used to come visit us regularly about 3 drons ago. They told us about all the interesting things they found from their scouting missions. They were really nice. Why do you fight with them?
I think you're confused. These aren't the Urquan we're talking about. Ours are green.
But the Urquan were such good guys. They had lots of interesting things to tell us about, and they never got impatient with our questions. Well, I guess a lot can happen to a species in 3 drawn, like turning green and evil.
We are particularly interested in studying unusual plants and life forms.
Oh, then you should go check out a planet orbiting a blue star not too far from here. I think there is another blue star right next to it. We can't describe exactly where it is, but the people who told us about it, the Urquan I think, said that it was one of the rarest worlds in space, and that as far as they knew, there were only 10 of these planets in this part of the galaxy.
That's enough about us for now.
Okay, but please, can we talk about you some more later?
Pardon me, but who exactly are you again?
We are the Slylandroi, a race of kind, curious, gas-bag people.
Sounds interesting. Tell us more.
Certainly, provided you share with us similar information. What would you like to know?
Tell us about your home, the giant plant.
Our planet, which we call Source, has no solid surface as yours likely does. Our world is the 500-kilometer band of atmosphere in which we can survive. Below this are the depths, a dark, hostile region which grows increasingly darker and more hostile the farther one goes. A typical feat of courage for Slylandro juveniles is to sink far enough into the depths so that the juvenile's gas bag is almost ruptured by the pressure. The tissue scars left by the trip last many rotations and are thought to attract comely mates. Above our world is void. When we travel up too far into void, we grow giddy and behave inappropriately.
What can you tell us about your culture?
We have an egalitarian society here. All are equal. Of course, that doesn't stop some people from being stupid fools or jerks. But on a world as huge as Source, where there are no barriers to restrict your travel, if someone is bothering you, you simply go somewhere else. As you might have guessed, we have no physical technology. In our long history, several of our people have tried to work with objects, constructing weapons and other tools from the carcasses of dead beasts. But eventually, whatever it was they were building got too heavy and dragged them down to the depths.
What can you tell us about your history?
Since we possess no technology, we have no permanent way to record the passing of events. Instead, we use the history chants, long songs whose rhythms and patterns help prevent the introduction of error into the record. When the Shaggy Ones first arrived over 41 drawings ago, we had no words for aliens or ships, for stars or planets. Our skies are an opaque swirl of colors. We knew nothing of the universe outside Source. The Shaggy Ones taught us most of the new words, and after they departed, we remembered them for the many long drawing, until ships from the sentient milieu arrived.
Tell us about your biology.
Our world, which we call Source, has been home to our species for many thousands of drawing. We evolved from simpler, unimodular beings who thrive in atmospheric convection cells. At first, we were little more than mindless consumers who glided at the edge of windmills, straining the air for small animalcules. But even then, we were social creatures who invented language so that we could better cooperate when herding food into dense concentrations. There are many hundreds of species here in Source, producers, consumers, hunters, and parasites, but so far, we are the only species here to achieve intelligence.
Thank you, that's significant for now.
My pleasure. Now let's talk about you and your peoples.
Goodbye, Slendro gas bags.
Goodbye, human fluid sac. Ah, human traveler, we have news. One of our probes finally returned home, and we have been able to reconfigure it so that it will seek other probes and broadcast the destruct code sequence. We expect the population of probes will decline swiftly. Thank you so much for showing us our error. We feel very badly about the inconvenience it has caused others.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, human fluid sac.
I feel like we've done this before.
It's been a while, but yeah.
All those 24-hour nights. Get out of school on Friday and start playing the game. And play it till 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Saturday morning. I think that was more so Final Fantasy, but we did play this a lot too.
We did a lot. And
What?
didn't realize how late it was.
Well, we took shifts. Remember, I
Yeah.
would sleep for 4 hours or 5, and then you'd wake me up, and I'd play for 4 hours or 5, and we'd switch off. We had to for the grind for Final Fantasy VII. That was just too much.
Oh yeah. And to get all those levels and to max out Knights of the Round.
We did it. We got to level 99.
Maxed out Knights of the Round. Had all the master summoning.
What was it? 80 hours?
Something, yeah.
100 hours or something?
100 hours.
For 99 on all the characters. Those were the days.
Those were the days. Captain, we have located the wreck of an Urquan Dreadnought. The fact that there is anything but a hole in the ground indicates that the vehicle has some engine power left to soften its crash.
So you say. I think it was just a really strong ship. A lot of armor.
It's a Dreadnought. Most of the Dreadnought is just so much alien junk. We have made hollows of everything, but I don't think it will be much use to anyone except the egghead Xenotechs back at the base. We have found one piece of equipment which is relatively intact. It's a huge hyperspace warp pod, the starboard unit. I think we will bring it aboard. That's pretty big to bring aboard.
Oh, we're a big ship too. We're a big ship now.
Shit, where to?
They start a new song. As it. Why do you pick me up? Warp pod from the Urquan.
Pick me up, Urquan.
I got you.
Yeah. There was no way around that. But at least we can converse.
Do not fear. We shall not harm you.
That's too bad because we're going to harm you.
Yeah. Transmitting destruct sequence now.
Engage in self-destruction circuitry.
Too bad you don't get the resources for it.
You should.
I guess they figured that'd be a cheat because you'd just let them grow.
True. But I mean, it automatically gets rid of them, so.
Only after you go back and talk to him a second time. Remember?
Yeah.
Because he said that, it came and we programmed it. You wouldn't get much for it anyway. Probably like 100.
Rainbow World. Now, where is that quasi space?
It's above hyperspace. Did that help you any?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you know what's above quasi space?
What?
Outer quasi space. That would be funny if you kept going up and eventually you loop around back to hyperspace. Or vice versa, you keep going down. You make a big loop.
Just loop it. That would be weird.
It's the proof of the ring theory. You mean string theory. No. The ring theory.
Isn't that where that crazy lady comes out of the TV?
No. No, that was The Ring. Noticeably different.
This is just ring theory.
It's just the ring theory. By the way, I have a tape for you to watch. It's an old VHS.
That'd be funny if it's like the Jumanji game where the VHS turns into a DVD.
It has to change with the times. I guess now it would be what would it be now?
Something streaming logs into like Netflix on the stream.
It turns into what's the little Google thing that you plug in? The little Bluetooth thing.
Oh, Chromecast?
Yeah, it turns into a little Chromecast to make you think that it's a real Chromecast, but it actually isn't.
Hello, my little one. I am so pleased to see you. You have done well for yourself. It is gratifying.
You sound as if you know me. Have we met?
I forget myself. Of course you don't know me. You are from Unzerwald, not Earth. We are, however, how shall I say, related. It has been many of your years since I have been to our planet Earth. We are known among your kind by many names, some of them flattering, some of them not. The one we use most often was given to us by the children of the Celts, a wonderful culture. They called us the Arilu Lalile. More recently, we were part of the Alliance of Three Stars, along with your kind until we decided to return to our own, how would you say, reality, when it became clear that your people would be safe enough under the Urquan slave shield.
What are you doing here in this region of space?
We are many places at many times. This place is an easy place, one of the 10 easy places. At different times, we explore different easy places. That is our way. Oh, I can see from the look in your eyes that I have confused you. I am silly. Please disregard my words.
Where are you exploring for these easy places?
We seek to trap Noong, but they dart and leap. You cannot trap Noong. Do not even try. I do not think you can even touch them. You are not quite solid enough.
Okay, you trap these Noong things, then what?
Why, we let them go, of course. Noong do not like to be confined. Captain, these things we talk about, they are unimportant to you. They are as dreams. Our words should address your universe, not ours.
We still struggle against the Urquan. Can you help?
With ships and weapons, blood and bones, no. Too many shipmates were forcibly discorporated in the last conflict. Our cooperation is not necessary. You are the focus. However, knowledge transcends reality perimeters, and this we can share with you. An example, to discover the nature of the red probes, seek creatures who inhabit a world with no surface.
Goodbye, Arlu.
Farewell, child.
I think he's had too much of that special sauce.
He's not exactly a happy camper.
They just won't leave you alone. We can take him.
Ah, our human friend, please let us chat a while. It has been so many years since I last visited your Earth, so long since I glided across your open fields under the light of a full moon. Tell me of Earth. Tell me of what I have. Oh, I forget myself. How silly. You were born on the distant world Unzerwald. I have visited there much more recently.
Can you give us any more information?
The Mycon change and reform worlds with their deep children. These changes affect others, unfortunately. The fate of your world and your heart relate to these matters.
Goodbye.
Farewell, child.
What was the other stuff they used to say that was crazy? Something about a picnic or something.
Something.
Ha-ha! Our clever ward has found our nook in time. You are the first brave human. No others have made the trip. This is our home world, Falialarawfuli, nestled safe in this true space eddy. The portal you pass through is a rarity, a natural point of interdimensional fatigue. We use these phenomena to speed our transit through the realities. We are wondering, have you met with the Umgar recently? We entrusted an injured talking pet into their care, and we were curious about its progress.
So what did happen at the end of the war?
Forgive us if we forget the importance you attach to such events as this. Our context is infinitely broader than yours in scope, both in space and time. Nevertheless, to please you, I shall try to recall. Yes, now I remember. Here is the sequence. The Urquhart fleets have moved through your solar system, and you are defeated. Your people make the choice not to fight with and for the Urquhart. A shield is cast about your world. Your people are now safe. This makes us happy. The Armada departs your star system and moves toward the remaining Alliance members. Ourselves, the Cyrene, the Yehat, and their adopted Shofixti. The Yehat and Shofixti withdraw to Delta Gorno, but they do not permit the Cyrene to follow. We are content with the flow of events and leave the area to return here. From our perspective, this sequence of events ends here.
Well, what happened to the Urquan? What are they up to now?
Soon after the Urquan defeated the Yehat and imprisoned the Cyrene and Beetlejuice, their siblings arrived to initiate the doctrinal conflict. This battle continues as we speak.
You said you had much to give my people. Can you be more specific?
As you know, we live in a dimension adjacent to hyperspace, which we call quasi-space. Our ships move between these dimensions through weaknesses in the interdimensional fabric. Although many such weaknesses, or portals, exist which lead from our dimension, quasi-space, to various locations in hyperspace, there is only one naturally occurring portal which will transport a ship from hyperspace to quasi-space. We therefore find it convenient to generate our own portals artificially, with focused dimensional fatigue rays. As a sign of our long-standing relationship with your species, we would happily fit your vessel with a portal spawner of its own. But your ship is so massive, our units would be ineffective. However, we suspect you may find a sufficiently powerful warp pod, the key element in a portal spawner, in the wreck of the Urquhart Dreadnought on the 7th world at Alpha Bobonis. Bring that warp pod back here, and we will prepare a portal spawner for your vessel.
You mentioned a talking pet. How did you find one?
We are an endlessly curious species, and we spend of our time on, how should I say, reconnaissance missions. During one such trip, we witnessed the crash landing of an Urquan dreadnought on the surface of Alpha Pavonis 7. Normally, when an Urquan vessel is disabled, it automatically engages self-annihilation circuits to prevent other species from learning the Urquan's technological secrets. In this case, however, these circuits must have failed. The dreadnought did not disintegrate on impact. We landed to explore the wreckage and were amazed to find a survivor, a talking pet. As you may know, the Urquan use these non-sentient creatures for the task of interspecies translation, a task the Urquan find ultimately demeaning. The talking pet was severely injured, and we did what we could for the poor creature. But it grew clear that without superior measures, the talking pet would die. We turned to the Unga, whom we have known for many centuries. Their bioscience skills are far superior to our own. The Unga promised to do what they could and let us know how the pet fared. We have not heard from the Unga since. Perhaps, if you are traveling through their stars, you could ask them for us.
I have acquired the warp pod unit from the Urquan wreck.
What a surprise! As we have always said, humans are a most resourceful and clever species. We are so proud of you, but don't worry that you shall have to wait. We are prepared. Even now, our technical personnel are equipping your ship with a custom version of our portal spawner device. The device is usable only in hyperspace. Whenever it is activated, the spawner will focus several interdimensional fatigue beams adjacent to your vessel, opening a temporary hole into quasi-space. Move quickly through the portal. After your ship has passed into quasi-space, you can choose any of the nearby portals which lead back to hyperspace, thus saving you needless transit time. Be keenly aware of this fact. The spawner requires a great deal of energy to function. We estimate that each time you use the device, it will consume 10 of your fuel units.
Goodbye, my Arlu friends.
Goodbye, clever child.
They always creep me out.
Just a little bit. Child and always sound more superior. But I guess that's the truth, they are superior.
I was talking about the probings.
During their reconnaissance missions.
Yeah. Star Control 2, The Voyage Home.
Let's go find that Melnome.
Their mission was one of danger. But still, they had to go home. In this 9,000 episode epic.
9,000 episodes. Oh, there they are. No. Challenges will be overrun.
And Captain Zealand will lose a friend. Not Fluffy now.
I am Trade Master Greenish, in command of the Melnome starship, inevitably successful in all circumstances. I bid you a formal welcome, Captain. Though we Melnome have just recently arrived in this region of space, we have long desired to make contact with your species and look forward to an extended, profitable relationship.
You know, that's an interesting name, though. Profitable and all.
Fitting for a merchant.
Yeah, but that's a mouthful for your ship. Beam me up, profitable. Look, if you're in orbit and I'm your captain, just beam me up.
It's an emergency. Just beam me up.
I don't have time to say the darn name.
We come in peace, representing the concordance of alien nations.
Even before our first meeting, we knew of you, Captain. Though your struggle to free Earth shall be a long and difficult challenge, fraught with great danger and mystery, we have great confidence in you and your abilities.
How did you know about us before meeting us?
We gather information from 1,000 secret sources in space and time. Our charge for revealing even one of these sources would be so high that your species would be in debt to us for centuries.
Hey, it's only GDP. Let's do it.
What can you tell us about yourselves?
Our origins and purposes are frankly mysterious, and due to several unavoidable factors, we are unable to discuss ourselves in any great detail.
What are these unavoidable factors?
First and foremost among these factors is our unwillingness to give away information about our history, psychology, and mental powers, our unique physiology, the exact locations of homeworlds, or our potentially ominous long-range plans. However, these important and relevant pieces of information are available for a nominal sum of credits.
Well, as long as we can buy it, let's buy that anonymous thing that you were telling us.
Do you have any information which might be of use to us?
Absolutely. Our primary trade good is information. Why, right here on my display screen, I have something which I am certain would be of incalculable value to you. We can discuss the details of this very significant information later, when we have established normal trading procedures, at which time we shall also discuss the nature of our fees.
Fees? Surely your culture is far beyond such pettiness as money.
You are of course correct. We long ago abandoned currency, and now only deal with commodities that have intrinsic value, such as valuable information.
And gold press platinum.
But our cause is just. Isn't altruism the highest pinnacle of morality?
No, it is not. In fact, in our culture, giving, with no fair exchange of goods or services, is considered vulgar and inappropriate. Please do not mention this subject again.
We shall begin trading.
Yes, let us get down to business. Since this is your first time trading with us, let me explain how our system works. We are interested in purchasing certain items, specifically
biological data on alien life forms, and the coordinates of certain strange worlds whose radiant energies defy all scanners, producing a rainbow-like image. In exchange, we have many interesting and valuable commodities, such as fuel, compatible with your starship's hyperdrive thrusters, technological specifications, allowing you to build new devices for your ship, and many important secrets which may help you in your travels. To facilitate trade, we translate all your sales into interstar credits, with which you may make purchases. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now, what can we do for you today?
Well, since this is my first time, what about that 15% discount?
Why did your bridge turn purple?
That's a good question, with a very interesting answer. The fee for this information is 12 million credits.
They're not cheap, are they?
No, it'd be cool if it was actually a reachable number and we could actually find out.
I have some items I would like to sell.
What would you like to sell?
Everything.
Data on life forms.
The units of biological data we downloaded from your ship earn you credits.
I wish to sell Rainbow World locations.
Your ship's log indicates that you discovered the whereabouts of rainbow worlds, which so fascinate us. In exchange, we will give you credits. What trade items would you like to buy today?
So, I want to invest in new technologies.
Investment. Ah, yes. You are so right. These technological breakthroughs don't cost you credit. They earn you credit. Of course, there is an initial charge, but each technological system item is guaranteed to be useful for something important somewhere in the galaxy at some point in the future. All technologies cost 150 credits. The technology we are now offering includes plans for building blaster weapons, twice as powerful as your ion bolt guns.
I would like to buy this.
Please remember that these weapons consume energy from your combat batteries faster than your familiar ion bolt guns. You may wish to compensate for this by building additional dynamo modules for your flagship. The technology we are now offering includes specifications for constructing modifications to your planet landers, which will double their speed. Ah, yes, speed. An excellent choice for the relentless hunter and craven coward as well. These modifications are simple enough to be put in place immediately. Your landers should be properly equipped in no time. The technology we are now offering includes details on how to add point defense laser systems to your flagship. These little babies are great for defense, but because of their limited range, they may not make a good offensive weapon. However, the more you build for your vessel, the more damage each laser strike will do. The technology we are now offering includes plans for building improvements to your planet landers, which make them resistant to hostile alien life forms. Our reinforcement procedures on your landers are complete. Now, provided your crew will stop putting their hands out the windows, they will be much better protected against hostile life forms. The technology we are now offering includes blueprints, which show how to increase your lander's cargo space to double its present volume. I hope this makes your resource gathering more cost-effective, Captain. The technology we are now offering includes blueprints, which show how to add double capacity fuel tanks. We hope that these improved tanks will make more module slots available on your flagship, which you can fill with other, more useful equipment. The technology we are now offering includes plans for improving the rate of fire on your lander's stun ray bolt beamer gun. After some wild game, Well, the changes we made should really make a difference. Unless, of course, that wiring went in backwards, in which case you won't be able to shoot at all, or take off, for that matter. Don't worry, Captain. We stand behind our work. If something goes wrong, just bring it back to us, and we'll fix it pronto. The technology we are now offering includes details for building modifications to your planet landers, which make them resistant to earthquakes. With the addition of these safety belts and heavy-duty shock absorbers, your lander occupants should be much safer when an untimely earthquake strikes. The job is complete. Your landers are ready. The technology we are now offering includes plans for adding auto-tracking modules, which improve the aim of all your weapons. You are preparing for a mighty battle, eh? Well, let me give you some advice. You should consider using multiple tracking modules, since this will greatly improve your aim. However, never add more than 3 to your ship. Any more would be useless. The technology we are now offering includes plans for adding improvements to your planet landers, which make them resistant to inclement planet weather. A little superconductive spray paint, and presto, your lander can sustain a direct hit by a lightning bolt without crisping the passengers inside. Usually. Since the job is so easy that a nymph could do it, I expect all your landers will be treated in less than an hour. The technology we are now offering is everything you need to know to assemble modifications to your planet landers, which make them resistant to planetary hotspots. With these new ablative plasma heat shields, your crew will be substantially safer on hot worlds. But like all our lander modifications, this protection is not perfect, so remain cautious. Since the changes to your landers are straightforward, your lander should be fitted with the heat shields by the time you return to your ship. The technology we are now offering is plans for building Hellbore cannons, a weapon much more destructive than a simple blaster. What else would you like to buy? As you know, we carry a large supply of fuel on board, which is compatible with your engine system. We will be happy to sell this substance to you at a cost of 1 credit per fuel unit. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Unfortunately, this purchase requires additional credits. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Fuel transferred to your vessel. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Fuel transferred to your vessel. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Fuel transferred to your vessel. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? Fuel transferred to your vessel. How much fuel do you wish to purchase? You need credits to purchase our trade items. To earn credits, you must sell us the items we desire, which are biological data on alien life forms, and the coordinates of certain strange worlds whose radiant energies defy all scanners, producing a rainbow-like image. It has been a pleasure dealing with you, Captain. We look forward to your next visit. How nice to see you again, Captain. Now, what can we do for you today? What would you like to sell, Captain? Your ship's log indicates that you discovered the whereabouts of Rainbow Worlds, which so fascinate us. In exchange, we will give you credits. What trade items would you like to buy today? The technology we are now offering is plans for building Hellbore cannons, a weapon much more destructive than a simple blaster. Captain, just a suggestion. Hellbore cannons are energy gulpers, so unless you want to have a long delay between shots, I would suggest you add dynamos or even Shiva furnaces to your ship. The technology we are now offering includes details on how to develop Shiva furnace modules, which generate energy for your combat batteries twice as fast as your standard dynamos. I am certain you will appreciate this new module, Captain. With it, you should be able to destroy and devastate twice as fast as before. Commander, that is the limit of the new technology we can offer you. If I may say so, you have been an excellent customer. Thank you. It has been a pleasure dealing with you, Captain. We look forward to your next visit.
I'm at your disposal, Captain. Before we proceed, I wanted you to know, good news, Captain. With no announcement, a small fleet of Arilu Lalile popped into space adjacent to our starbase, scaring the hell out of the Deep Raider operator. But right now, I could kiss every one of those pale little weirdos because they gave us 3 Skip vessels. The analysis reads as follows. Subject, quasi-space portal spawner. Data, device is a hybrid of different alien technologies including Arilu and Urquan elements. Our tests show that this device temporarily creates a weakness in the fabric between hyperspace and a different unidentified dimension. The energy cost of this process is extreme, and since the unit's power supply is self-contained, we cannot estimate how long it will remain functional. Summary: use of this device will permit a starship to make transit to a different dimension. The hazards and benefits of this process are impossible to gauge without field study. The next entry in the analysis is Subject, Slilandro Probe Destruct Code Sequence. Data. This is a complex sequence of program instructions using an encryption sequence similar in some ways to the Rolling Fung algorithm. Summary: when a Slilandro probe approaches, open a hailing frequency, wait for a response, and then transmit the code. That's the end of our scientist's report. Return soon, Captain.
And then break things into little pieces. What it can't break. It chews.